Well, hello, gamers. Once again, it's me, BG. We're back with another one. And this time, we're going to talk about something that's very important to the gamers out there. Very important to me, really. Why are games so effing boring, bro? I've had enough. I'm tired and sleepy and bored. So bored. So today we're going to go over some of the reasons why I think games have gotten boring over the years. They're still fun to be had. Don't get me wrong. This is not complete hate. There are some games that are doing a great job. My goodness, but let's get right into the nonsense. You ever been playing a game you really like, and just one day you get on it, then you just stop liking it? Happens all the time. Don't feel bad. Yes, that's right. Do not feel bad. The game could actually go boring on you. Go figure. Games have an expiration date sometimes. It's a mixture of things. It can be a mixture of things, but a few that come to mind immediately. The base game itself really isn't that great. You get through the novelties of everything. You've explored everything, and things just get boring. You could kind of see those games coming from a mile away. Power World, for example. A lot of fun, a lot of whimsy, a lot of nature. If you're not into grinding, if you're not into the Minecraft lifestyle, making your own fun, the game won't be for you. You'll run out of novelties pretty quick. Gameplay loop will end pretty quickly, and then you'll be bored. On to the next one. Then we have games that you've been playing for entirely too long. There's nothing wrong with the game, but you've been logging hours for years upon years, and you're asking yourself, you're asking your brain, why don't the dopamine hit as hard? Well, my boy, it's time for you to upgrade to a harder substance. I'm sorry, it's time for a new game. You've ran out of content. You've done the loop. You've killed everybody. You've done it. It's time for something new. Then you have games that are, actually very stinking fun. It's just that right at that moment, it's not the game for you. So, sometimes I log on to Helldivers 2 and I think, I'm going to have the time of my life. Explosions, memes, and dreams. But then I get in there and it's sort of a hollow experience. That isn't Helldivers 2's fault. It's barely even my fault. Honestly, it's just you're not meant to play that game in that moment. It's okay to put it down. But there are many actual reasons why games these days have difficulties entertaining their audience. Actual reason number one why a game gets boring: the gameplay loop. Pretty straightforward. Pretty simple. Touched on it a little earlier, but the gameplay loop, it's just not that solid. So let's go back to Power World, for example. In Power World, you beat up prospective pals, and that's how you make friends in real life, by the way. You beat them up, you capture them or kill them for their supplies, their resources, and then you do it again. Oh, you can beat some leaders, some gym bosses, gym leaders. I don't even know what you call those. You can defend against the zillionth raid once more. But really, there's not much to it. You just go out there, you craft some stuff, you get better stuff, and then you beat up more pals, stronger pals, and you just repeat the process until you run out of friends to make. Yeah, I mean, it's fun for the moment, and you'll have a lot of fun with the novelty. My goodness, it is a blast. Even the memes. If you have the vision to create your own narrative and create your own stories, the content that you create and the fun you can have is endless. But if you don't have that mentality, then the fun will come to an end. It will come to an end so quickly. Oh my goodness. Reason number 2, real reason number 2 why games have gotten boring. They're the same. It's the same game. We're playing the same games. I also touched on it. You've played a game for too long. Well, at some point, we've played all the games, guys. It's over. I'm sorry. Like, we've already done it. We've played every archetype, every version of a game in existence. Platformers to shooters. There's a formula that has been found, a meta, if you will, and people copy and paste it because it gets results. Nobody's trying to spend time on an IP. Nobody's trying to spend time on a game developing. It's a lot of work. It takes so much work. It takes from the logic, the coding of the game itself, to the actual assets and creation of the assets, marketing, actually getting it in front of people's eyes. You don't want to fail. So what do game companies do? They rip the most important games. They rip the most popular games, and they just kind of shove it in your face, tell you, hey, this is a new experience. Welcome. You've been playing the same game under a new skin for years now. For years. Gameplay mechanics are starting to fall on top of each other. It's kind of clumsy, actually. Like, look what happened to Halo. It had a little identity problem, a little identity crisis. Not quite sure what they were going for. It was fun, but every first-person shooter on a baseline level is fun. Sad to say. I mean, just pick one. Honestly, this is a rule. Just pick one. Pick one game and stick to that, because you're just bouncing around doing the thing that I do, where I try to have different games under my belt, different games under my repertoire. Get a little Helldivers in, get a little Overwatch in, get a little COD in, get a little Apex in. Dude, you're playing a first-person shooter, all right? So yeah, the inputs might be slightly different. Maybe to get the outcomes that you want, maybe you have to focus on a different aspect of things. But the truth is, it's the same. You're playing the same thing. I'm sorry. Like, it's a first-person shooter is a first-person shooter is a first-person shooter, and it's been a while since they've differentiated in such a way that it actually means something. So, truthfully, we've been playing the same game for a long time. I mean, these are good games. So, people could be mad at me, not mad at me, but Bloodborne, Elden Ring, Dark Souls, same company, same game. And I don't even know what the knockoffs are, but there are so many knockoffs to them. And I'm just going to put the images on the screen of the knockoffs. Fox do a barrel roll, impervious, invincible barrel roll your way into destroying your billionth freaking dragon. Good job, team. We sure are in uncharted territory. Like, dude, we play COD like we play FIFA, or we play COD like we play NBA 2K. Another year, another installment, and you just pray. They don't jank it up too much, trying to be fancy. You guys, stop with the behind the back dribbling. We liked the mobility that time, okay? Just revert it. Stop with trying to balance. Stop it. It's we already had the working formula, guys. Just honestly, you should have just stayed with Warzone 1. I'm sorry. It is what it is, gang. Like, if you weren't gonna do something brand new with this, I only see the point of doing this is to extend the game as a service model another 2 years, so you can build some more cash out of your audience, so they can be moderately frustrated. The abused masses just, sir, thank you for the beating today. At some point, the chips will fall. Just not today. We're humans. We take a little bit of time. We're figuring it out. It's getting boring, guys. It's time for something new. The last reason that games have gotten boring, we don't we don't incentivize creativity. Just like the last point, it kind of feeds into the last point, but creativity is not completely dead. Again, we've captured the whimsy of gaming with Helldivers 2 recently, even Power World. I don't know how popular it still is, but we've kind of captured the magic of gaming a bit for a moment, at least culturally speaking. We're out of ideas. Simply, we're out of ideas. If you go back, I'm an old man at this point, and sad to say, PlayStation 2 is now an old man system. It's retro. Hey kids, we're retro over here. But if you go back to PlayStation 2, GameCube era, things were very creative. Now, Nintendo's still very awesome. Nintendo, even though they brutalize anybody who tries to emulate anything, hey man, if my IPs were as strong as Mickey frickin' Mouse, maybe I'd be putting people's arm behind their backs too. Hey, hold on there. No emulator for you. Bankroll me now, please. Even though they're pretty brutal on that front, they make great and fun ideas. The ideas aren't stale. They're not afraid to experiment. They're not afraid to do something new, even if it's something small. That's why people like Hideo Kojima are very, very important. Let's do an insane walking simulator. Like, come on. Like, that is awesome. I mean, something. We need that creativity is gone, is lost behind a wall of, the shooter loop and experience points and rank up and battle pass. We're beyond that point. In PlayStation 2 era, there are so many. I call it PlayStation 2 era, but I'm talking about every single game that came around in that time frame. So Xbox, GameCube, anything of that nature. Everything was fresh. So Halo is new. And their competitor was, what was it? Killzone? I played Killzone 1. Killzone 1 was a lot of fun. Campaigns were still the wave. Everybody loved narratives. Gears of War was new. Pikmin. Luigi's Mansion. Paper Mario. The list goes on and on. There is an endless supply of games that you could play, and they all felt differently. I mean, goodness, man. After you're done going super hard in Halo 2, you get to switch the game over, and now you're playing Burnout. Like, come on, bro. Arcade fun, endless fun. It was timeless, man. And nobody was really trying to capture the same gameplay loop unless it was like an exclusive. Like, again, like Killzone, Halo, these things are in COD. Like, these things were in competition in a sort of sense. And that kind of started that AAA vibe of everybody copying each other. But at the same time, they at least offered wholly different experiences that really pushed that fun level to the next level. So, I think gaming is kind of in a weird spot. We're moving forward. We're growing. We have the same loops. We kind of went through this weird AAA. They tried to do the quadruple A. Fall of a dynasty, fall of a kingdom. How decadent is that? We're trying to move away from those times. I see now that people are starting to scale back and they're starting to say, hey, we're doing AA releases. I'm curious as to what that means. An indie major release? That could be interesting. This could be a very good thing. The fall of the AAA, the fall of the quadruple A. I think we're long overdue. This AA era that's potentially coming out could be huge. It could save gaming. It could, in the sense that, we've been in the same place for quite a while, and it's been time to move for quite a while. But now it's we finally have a reason. It's not justifiable. It's not justifiable to spend millions on millions of dollars on a game that's a service that's going to last 2 weeks. People are tired of the gaming as a service. They might still keep it because it's so effective, but at some level, the moving away from it, that's what I'm excited to see. I'm curious to see what the future of gaming holds. I'm curious to see, if we can break this boring cycle, man. We can keep our CODs. There's nothing wrong with having a Call of Duty. There's nothing wrong with having a FIFA. There's nothing wrong with having a game as a service. Personally, I don't really care. Warframe has gone on forever, and it's for good reason. They know what they're doing. But at some point, we have to give it a rest on all of the very samey experience that we're having. Same loops, the same noises, the same hooks. We're tired. We got. If you wanted to do that, we'd just be playing mobile games. And at this point, we're like a little bit removed. Let's be honest. So, that is the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. What do you think makes games boring these days? Boring alert. Let me know in the comments if you liked this video. I'm sure you did since you stuck around this long, or you absolutely hated it so much that you disliked the video. It is what it is, gang. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you comment. Let me know below. More videos to come. We're going to see you in the next one. BG Tinders. Bored to death over here. Signing out.